Hey guys, be sure to press like and subscribe. Today we're going to talk about SRRV pros and cons, okay? And I wrote all these down so I can remember all these because there's quite a lot of pros and cons. The one thing I like about the SRRV visa, and I got the courtesy visa, the one for veterans, and mine cost me about, I think it was about $2,900, $3,000 total with the amount that I had to put in the bank, which I'll get back if I ever leave or something like that, or if I buy a condo or lease some land or something like that, I can use that money that's in that account. But the problem with that is then you can't do the 3-year thing anymore. So for me, leaving the $1,500 in there, and then every 3 years I do the ID and pay $30 is way better than having to go see them every year, because that just gets to be a pain. So I'd rather let them hold the $1,500. $1,500 is nothing, and it's a great bargain. That's one of the pros and cons of having a SRRV visa. Is for me, that $30 every 3 years is just easy. I don't have to worry about it for 3 years. If I did buy property every year, you have to go in there and do that. So just keep that in mind if you do it. Some of you guys will do the other one where you have to put $10,000 down or something like that, or whatever it is. They have different ones that are, and right now they're not even doing the SRRV visas until they take a look at it because of what happened with China. So just keep that in mind, guys. The other thing is no Bureau of Immigration visits. Okay, that's the biggest one. I don't like to have to go in every month with the tourist visa thing and have to, do that. And sometimes, they'll do it for 3 months or 6 months or whatever in some places. And that's it's just a total hassle of having to go travel to Robinson's up in Dasma for me to do that. And for you guys, it'd be someplace else, or maybe it is Robinson's in Dasma. I have no idea. And the other thing is it's forever, and if they change any laws or anything, usually you're grandfathered in most cases, in most countries. When you get a resident visa, you're grandfathered in. The laws stay the same. Everything stays the same on that, okay? And the other thing is you can buy, like I mentioned, you can buy a condo or you can lease land with the deposit. But like I said, that does change, okay? So this is one of the pros and cons also. It does change to where you have to go in every year then to pay that $10. And you don't have to do it, but you can have an agent do it or whatever, and it just costs you a few extra bucks to have the agent go up and do it. And the great thing about this is when I go to do the ID, they just use the same old picture. So I just called up my agent. She was away for a while. She called up another agent. The agent went and got it. I sent the money, and a couple days later I got it through the mail, my new ID. So it was great. I didn't even have to deal with going up there or anything. I didn't have to deal with anything. So it looks like it's going to be that way for life, that I don't even have to go to the Philippine Retirement Authority to do any of this, because that's who you go through when you have the SRRV visa. You don't deal with the Bureau of Immigration anymore. You deal with the Philippine Retirement Authority. Okay, so that's who you deal with. Okay. The other thing is more free time. Okay. This gives me tons of free time because of the fact that I don't have to go for those visa runs. I don't have to worry about those things. I only have to worry once every 3 years, and that's the best part about the SRRV visa process. Yeah, there are pluses, there are minuses. I think overall, for me, the SRRV process has been good. I enjoy it because I got it at a good time, and I was grandfathered in. Yeah, they have a few more hoops you have to jump through, and we'll get into that. The cons. Okay, if you're going to go outside the country, let's say you're going to go to Thailand or Vietnam or China or Japan or back to the U.S. or something, after a year you still have to get your exit clearance. Okay, you still have to get your exit clearance. But now with the current situation going on, you also have to do something up at the PRA. You have to go online and fill out this form or something like that. And I'm not sure, they didn't really explain too much about that. And that's the one of the cons that I hate about the PRA is they don't really tell you too much what's going on and why you need things. And they have this new hoop that you have to jump through. You have to go online and fill out this thing. They sent me a thing by email and told me if you're leaving the country, you have to get this paper. And I think that's to make it easier for you to get back in, but they didn't tell us that. So, you know, I'm not sure. Everybody's kind of up in the air about that. I've asked a few people. I'm going to try to find out more about that and get some more information on that. And if I do get that information, I'll try to throw it out there. The other thing is the turmoil in the PRA right now due to China sneaking in 27,000 people under the PRA, you know, and these are like military-aged people, like supposedly they were 35. Some of them might have been younger with fake birth certificates from China that got in here, but there's 27,000 of them. Some people have said it's a fifth column for a possible takeover in the future. Nobody really knows, you know, and it is kind of scary that that happened, and I think the Philippines is trying to address that and take care of that. So those are some of the things that you know, that I worry about in the future, because that made a big concern for me as far as the China issue over here. I mean, they got 220 ships sitting off the coast of Palawan or wherever it is, and you know, that's kind of concerns me, you know, because, and then there's plus other ships there too. Somebody said there's a total of 400 in total. Okay, that's a bit concerning. You know, it's the maritime militia. Some say that they're all fishermen. What they are is they're fishermen and military both in the same. Okay, so they go out and they just devastate these waters. They take up all the fish. They just fish the heck out of these waters and leave nothing behind. And they go all over the world to do this because they want to feed their masses. And they just had some devastating stuff with floods and droughts and everything else in their country, all kinds of issues. And it's been devastating for feeding their country. And I can see why they do some of the things that they do, but I mean, you don't go and steal somebody else's property on, you know, in their fishing areas and then just devastate it and then just leave. And they've done that to the Philippines, they've done it to Vietnam, they've done it to the Galapagos Islands, they've done it to the Falklands, they've done it all over the world now, and China's doing this. And that's a big concern of, you know, for us living in the Philippines here is that. But to get back to the SRRV, for me, the SRRV has been a huge blessing, and it is a great visa to get. And I highly recommend that you go on to the Philippine Retirement Authority website and check it out. It's worth checking out. It's worth looking into. They will restart this at some time, and it will be kickstarted up again. When? We don't know yet. Probably when this whole quarantine thing and this big mess is all over. But anyway, guys, just wanted to put that out there and you know, let you guys know what's going on with the, you know, the SRRV, the pros, the cons, and also to give you an inside look at the SRRV process. But anyway, guys, if you guys need any assistance with this, you can just shoot me a comment on here, you know, but I wouldn't worry about it for at least another 6 months, because this isn't going to start for another 6 months or a year. I don't see it happening, maybe even a year and 3 months, because I don't think that anybody's going to be coming into the country here for that long, you know, in my honest opinion. So, but I mean, if you have any questions about it, you can shoot them at me. I'll try to answer it. Or you can, the easiest way to get those questions answered is go on to the Philippine Retirement Authority and just go on there, and I'll put the link, and that should answer most of your questions, guys. Okay? God bless. Take care, guys.